watching WCIA 3, your local news leader. Now, from your local weather leader, this is WCIA 3's 2022 Winter Weather Outlook with Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lythe and the WCIA 3 Weather Team.
Welcome to the WCIA 3 Winter Weather Outlook. Over the next 30 minutes, we're getting you ready for the upcoming winter season.
Hopefully, Kevin calls for a lot of snow, as it's fun for the kids. But did you know the snow can actually be bad for your health? Talk about some of the impacts you can get from shoveling snow.
And I have a look at what plows are doing across the state and even here locally to get ready for the season.
And I'll tell you how winter temperatures can cause problems for the plumbing in your home.
And of course, the winter weather forecast. Just how much snow are we going to get? We'll have that for you coming up. But first, it seems like last year, area interstates had semi-accidents all over them. Meteorologist Jacob Dickey talked to the state police to learn more.
When the weather gets bad and road conditions turn for the worst, winter weather can become dangerous very quickly. And for those who put themselves in harm's way, it can be very scary.
It's probably the scariest time of the year for state troopers because you're out here with 4,000 to 80,000 pound bullets heading at you.
Lieutenant Mark Hawley from the Illinois State Police has seen his fair share of winter storms.
My squad cars have been hit a couple times.
But last winter was one of the worst he's seen, especially on the interstates.
We had a lot more commercial motor vehicle crashes last year than I can remember in the 20 years I've been a trooper. It was just, at times, it was a little bit overwhelming with the storms this past February.
And he thinks there is more than one reason for that.
After COVID slowed everything down, there was a push to bring the economy back up. You get people that are fairly confident because they take the same route every day. And then the out-of-staters, you have people that are coming into a weather event that they had no idea they were rolling into. And then you have a lot of inexperienced commercial drivers out there that are trudging through snow and ice for the first time. And you just have those that don't like to slow down for anything.
Road conditions through much of February were bad enough to keep his department busy.
We had multi-day weather events. You have weather coming in and then the temperatures dropping. So treating ice and snow accumulation becomes a little bit tougher.
And there may be more than one reason why there were so many wrecks, especially in specific spots.
Some of them are just naturally set up because of the topography or the layout. Mostly bridges, line of sight issues, and then you've also got a crest of a hill. Some areas are just set up with more natural wind tunnels to create that glazing and drifting over.
Lieutenant Hawley says during severe winter weather, if you can stay home, do just that.
Don't go out if you don't need to. Really, you might also consider maybe some more secondary routes too with the interstates, and then also have people that know that you're going out in the winter storm if you absolutely have to, so they know when to expect you and they know to call if something's wrong.
Well, winter weather like that can sure be scary if you're on the road. And meteorologist Adam Sherwinski shares more on how you can be prepared.
Steve Ornat is on the road again. Ornat is a former resident of Minnesota, but even this seasoned snow traveler has run into a problem traveling during the winter months.
The worst roads I've ever driven in are in North Carolina. I did put a car in a ditch.
Molly Hart, a spokesperson with AAA, says that there are steps you can take to be prepared for any situation before hitting the road when the flakes fly or ice covers the streets.
And the things that you want to have done is you want to check the tire pressure, the tire tread. You want to check the coolants. You want to make sure that your wiper blades are working correctly.
There's also a few items in your winter weather travel kit you can take in case you get stuck for a while.
So here's some things that you want in your car as you're driving. This is kind of a pretty emergency kit. So what we have in here is we have some non-perishable snacks. We also have water. You also want to, let's unpack this, you want extra hats. You want extra gloves.
And while some of these things may already be in your winter plan or even in your vehicle, there might be a few things you may have never thought to bring.
You also want abrasive material, especially in the winter, in case you get stuck on ice. So whether that's kitty litter or sand.
Hart says even while behind the wheel, there's ways to avoid getting into a bad situation.
Don't make any unnecessary lane changes because between the lanes, it can be icy, and that's where you could also slide.
Well, whether you're at home or on the go, we have you covered this winter season with the WCIA 3 Weather app. Compatible with almost all devices, the WCIA3 weather app is a one-stop shop for all things weather. Get our daily updated Weather Now articles and videos and access the latest hour-by-hour forecast. Of course, the 10-day forecast right there for you, and the Doppler radar. I'm going to show you where that precipitation is falling. Now, one of the best features is the access to our live stream page, which will get you to our exclusive content as our meteorologists stream live during times of active weather. This is also where you can send us pictures directly of the winter weather. You can also see all of our various weather cameras. That's right. See how the winter weather is impacting Central Illinois and the Flooring America Camera Network. Download the app today and never miss a forecast. All right, we got much more of the winter weather outlook coming up. But first, did you know the snowiest year on record in Illinois was in 1979? There was, on average, 44.5 inches of snow that fell across the state. The winter weather outlook returns right after this.
Your home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation trouble, like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural. Fixing it is crucial. Call Woods, the all things basement-y experts, and fix it forever.
Johnson's Automotive in Charleston is family-owned and operated since 1978. We are here to take care of all your automotive needs. Let us keep your car safe and ready for this holiday season. Merry Christmas from the Johnson Automotive family. Solar energy systems provide clean, renewable energy, and Edelman is your local licensed turnkey solar energy company. Edelman will personally design and install your specialized solar system and help you take advantage of state and federal rebates and incentives. But why solar energy? The sun provides a clean, renewable energy source, and solar has now become more affordable and more efficient than ever before. Let the sun help you save money, get freedom, and control over your electricity with solar energy from Edelman. Make things easy. Call Edelman.
What could get these guys going?
Who wants burgers?
Ooh, what you got there? It's the DQ Signature Stack Burgers menu. Oh, that is 5 tasty burgers right there. Oh, there goes the spicy flamethrower and loaded A1 Signature Stack Burgers.
Yes. Go, Mom. Go, Mom.
And there goes the rest of them.
Woo! Go, Mom.
Hey, don't worry. You're still the cool mom.
Thank you.
DQ, happy tastes good. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
There's never been a better time to start hot tubbing. Hi, I'm Josh with Backyard Leisure. If you're ready to start hot tubbing, then check out this exclusive offer only from Backyard Leisure.
Shop the Backyard Leisure days after Black Friday sale and save thousands on a new hot tub. Go to backyardleisure.com to check out all the deals.
If you're ready to make every day better, then go to backyardleisure.com and schedule your hot tub wellness consultation today. I'm Josh with Backyard Leisure. Hot tub, you need it.
WCIA3's 2022 Winter Weather Outlook continues now.
Welcome back. Well ahead of the next winter storm, road crews are already planning. And meteorologist Adam Sherinsky sat down to learn more about plow crews in our area getting ready for winter.
Plow crews across the state are getting ready for the snow and ice this winter.
We start planning for the next winter pretty much as soon as the last winter is done.
IDOT is already making sure their trucks are ready to go.
We go around, do inspections, make sure that all the safety equipment is properly installed and functioning, that the salt spreaders and brine applicators are all calibrated.
These trucks have more than just salt dispensers and plow blades.
We have GPS AVL control for our vehicles, so we know where they're at any location. Also tells us whether the plow is up or down, what application rate they're using for salt.
Within IDOT District 5 alone, there's roughly 160 trucks and nearly 260 staff members to clear major roadways from McLean County to Edgar County. Not only are trucks inspected, but salt and brine stock from last season are taken into account months before snow is in the forecast. They take the leftover tons of salt and then estimate what they'll need for the next season earlier in the year. By June, they start calculating the staff they'll have for the upcoming winter. This year, Spiker says that they'll be trying out a mobile roadway information system, or RWIS sites, on a few trucks.
And it's actually reading not just pavement temperature and air temperature. All of our trucks basically read pavement temperature and air temperature, but it's also reading dew points, humidities, what the friction numbers are for the pavement itself. Is the pavement wet? Is it icy? Is it snowy?
Even at the smaller municipal level, crews are getting ready.
We've got one truck that we have to have some retrofitting done to get a plow put on it. A few things are off on it. Other than that, for the most part, other than just little odd and end things on trucks, we're pretty much ready.
Last winter, Farmer City's streets department suffered a major hit to their operations. Their garage and much of the gear was destroyed in a fire. Agencies from around the area stepped in to lend a hand to finish out the winter season. And while the city still doesn't have a garage yet, they still feel they will be able to tackle whatever winter throws at them this year.
I think we're good to go. I think as long as we can keep the trucks warm so we don't have the diesel fuel issue, I think we're ready to go. We are back to full equipment status. It's just that they're going to be stored outside temporarily.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck to all those crews out there. Now, while road crews are getting ready, you should also take steps to prepare at home. Forecaster Seth Bonoff has more on one way you can prepare for cold weather.
Winter weather can make for some dangerous outdoor conditions, but did you know that it can affect you in your own home, even if there isn't a snowflake in sight? We're here at EJ Water in Dietrich today to talk about how freezing temperatures outside might bring some of your operations at home to a freeze. Zach Toole, the deputy superintendent at EJ Water, says that frozen pipes are common in the winter and that they can affect a number of appliances.
Anything that uses water has the potential to be affected. Just kind of depends on where it's freezing at. If it's frozen at the meter, obviously everything in the house. If it's frozen at one end of the house and not the other, then maybe the washer still works, but the bathroom on the other end's not working.
When those winter temperatures arrive, that's when your pipes are at risk of freezing.
Generally, when we see meters start freezing, it's usually below 20. Usually, for the most part, it's closer to 10 degrees or under, and that can be anywhere from 4 to 5 hours.
Frozen pipes can ruin a home quickly. These photos, provided by American Patriot Restoration of Effingham, show water damage to crawl spaces and living room areas. But if left unnoticed for too long, mold can also start to form. So what can you do to prevent this from happening to your home?
It's recommended to go to the farthest point of your house and just turn on a faucet. It doesn't have to be on like full bore, just kind of give it a good few drips a second, and then that should be great. It kind of keeps that water moving in the lines. As long as water's moving through the lines, it's not going to freeze.
Here are some more tips to prevent your pipes from freezing. Open cabinet doors and let your sinks run for a few seconds. If you have a crawl space, shut any vents leading to it to keep cold air from coming in. Similarly, if you live in a mobile home, seal the underpinning. Use heat tape on pipes to keep them nice and warm. And since snow is an insulator, don't remove it from your meter. Zach will demonstrate a full meter inspection.
Anywhere where there's a gap or some sort of opening, that's where the cold air, the breeze, everything can get in there. That will then freeze up the meter pit. So you just kind of want to set it on there, make sure it's on there tight. For the side of the meter ring, you want to make sure there's no gaps, no openings. If there's a gap, usually it just slides right back over and then seals that back off.
Follow these tips to stay a step ahead of freezing temps. And of course, never be afraid to reach out to EJ Water or your local water provider, and they'll be more than happy to give you tips on how to keep your home safe here when you start to get those freezing temperatures during the winter. From rural Dietrich, Illinois, Seth Bonoff. Kevin, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Seth. Now, while temperatures are important for the forecast, the wind also has to be taken into account. Meteorologist Jacob Dickey shares more.
When it comes to winter, we talk a lot about temperatures for precipitation type, road conditions, and more. But when we look at how cold weather will impact both you and I, we have to look at the wind chill. The wind chill takes into account the impact that the wind will have on our body's temperature. Now, when there's no wind, the temperature and the wind chill, they're the same. If it's 20 degrees out with no wind, it feels like 20 degrees. Now, the wind chill does not apply to inanimate objects, just living things like people and animals. That's because as the wind increases, it draws heat away from the body, eventually bringing down your body temperature. Now, the wind makes it feel much colder. If it's 20 degrees out, but there's a 20-mile-per-hour wind, the calculated wind chill comes down to 4 degrees. Learn more about the wind chill on our website, WCIA.com.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, did you know the coldest temperature ever recorded in the state of Illinois? Minus 36 degrees in Congerville in 1999. We've got more of the Winter Weather Outlook returning right after this.
Your home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation trouble, like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural. Fixing it is crucial. Call Woods, the all things basement-y experts, and fix it forever.
Remarkable stories from across central Illinois. 4 women will be selected and 1 will go on to Hollywood. To nominate a tireless change maker, go to WCIA.com/remarkablewomen. WCIA 3 is celebrating remarkable women.
Somebody would ask her something and she would just walk right past them because she didn't know they were talking to her. I just could not hear.
Our nearly invisible hearing aids are just one reason we've been the brand leader for over 70 years.
When I finally could hear for the first time, I started crying. I could hear everything.
Don't miss another conversation. Come and see me, and we'll find a hearing aid that fits your lifestyle and your budget.
It's bad enough, and they want to make it a lot worse for you.
Frankly, you can feel, I think, momentum building for Republicans.
80% of Democrats and Republicans apparently have that feeling.
Our team of journalists covering every single angle.
You're a fair man. That's why I'm doing this program.
It's always going to be a balance.
Tonight we got your back.
How do we figure out the truth, Congressman? Staying on top of this very important issue.
What am I missing here?
I think if they win, I should get all the credit. If they lose, I should not be blamed at all.
WCIA 3's 2022 Winter Weather Outlook continues now.
While wintertime traditionally brings snow, ice, and freezing rain in recent years, we've had to deal with more severe thunderstorms. Of course, snow and ice is what you typically think about during the wintertime, but the overlooked winter threat can sometimes be severe weather. Some of our most active tornado days most recently have occurred during the month of December. Just last year, on December 10th, we were on the air covering tornadoes. There's major damage in the Gaze area there on the north side. Multiple EF2 tornadoes impacted our area, including damage in the Gaze and Mattoon area. And then 4 years ago, on December 1st, we had an even stronger tornado hit. That was in Taylorville. EF3 tornado that ripped through after dark and left hundreds of homes with damage, but luckily no one was killed. Then, of course, the Gifford tornado was back in 2013, and that occurred just a few weeks before December. Now, December actually ranks as the 4th deadliest tornado month out of the entire year, even though it only accounts for 3% of all tornadoes for the year. A reason behind this is often thought to be the nighttime aspect, while many people are sleeping or just not even thinking about tornadoes in the middle of winter. So why are we getting tornadoes in the winter so often lately? Well, you can't argue our winters as of late have been warmer, and this warmer air, when in place with a colder air mass coming down from Canada, can create more spring-like conditions. The presence of a La Nina has often yielded more wintertime tornadoes as well. All right, now when it's too cold for storms, the snow can cause its own problems. Meteorologist Jacob Dickey explains how.
Typically, cardiologists are very busy in the wintertime.
Dr. Lakshmi, a cardiologist at Sarah Bush Medical Center, says that he will expect to see more than double the number of patients facing cardiac issues after snow falls.
A lot of patients will start shoveling snow and start getting chest pain.
It's because shoveling snow in the cold can put a lot of strain on the body.
There are 2 components to shoveling the snow. The first is the temperature. It's very cold. The second one, it's like an exercise. It's an outpatient stress test outside the hospital. So you're stressing your heart.
Snow weighs a lot, but exactly how much it weighs can depend on the total water content, the amount of snow, how compact it is, and more. Simplifying the math, on an average driveway 40 feet by 10 feet, with a snow ratio of 10 inches of snow for every 1 inch of water, just 6 inches of snow means you would clear over 1,200 pounds of snow from your driveway. In one winter storm last year, parts of Champaign County received 15 inches of snow, meaning that same driveway space had over 1.5 tons of snow on it. And all that shoveling can cause health problems, something Dr. Lakshmi warns about.
Before you do a vigorous exercise or shoveling snow, check with your doctor, get a stress test or something to make sure that you can do it.
There are some specific risk factors that can put you more at risk for heart attacks.
If somebody is healthy, you and me can go and exercise as much as you want and shovel the snow and nothing will happen. It's the patients who have coronary disease who are not adequately treated, and the biggest risk is the patients who don't know. But they have a lot of high-risk features such as diabetes, overweight, smoking, blood pressure not well controlled. There's going to be a high risk to get a massive heart attack. Just get somebody else to deal with that and get that. But a lot of these people, they live alone. That's the problem.
But if you do shovel snow and you feel chest pain, seek emergency medical attention.
Time is muscle. If you have chest pain, shoveling snow, don't waste time. Just come straight to the emergency room. Let's make sure there's not a heart attack, because that's your best chance of survival.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, meteorologist Adam Sherwinski next up. He's talking about the 4 main types of precipitation we see in the winter months.
When we get to this time of year, we encounter more than just one type of precipitation. The question is, how do we get the different kinds? If we look at the atmosphere from an up and down, not an east and west or north and south, that's when we start to see our different types of precipitation. So cold air all the way down, 32 degrees, freezing. That'll give us some snowfall here, one of the most common types there for winter. Freezing, then melting, and then freezing again in a warm layer. That's going to give us sleet, those little pellets right there as they start to refreeze before they hit the ground. We get the freezing precipitation falling and melting right before it hits the ground, or right as it hits the ground, it becomes frozen. That gives us freezing rain, another common type of precipitation this time of year. Then we get to the snowfall there. It's falling and melting all the way down towards the ground. That gives us rain, and we see that throughout the entire year. As we look more to the east and west, notice that there's a transition zone in between there. That's where we're going to find our most hazardous types of precipitation, freezing rain and sleet. Just be careful when you're driving, or don't drive at all.
All right, thanks, Adam. All right, did you know the most snow to fall during one event was in Astoria, Illinois? 37.8 inches. It happened in 1900. How much snow will we have this year? We'll have your forecast after the break.
Zaya, you can skip making your bed. But Dwayne and I decided not to skip the doctor for our kids.
Doctors are doing a lot to keep their offices as safe as possible.
Thank you. Talk to your preteen's doctor about scheduling their well visit and recommended vaccinations.
Let's go.
Your home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation problems like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural, and getting it fixed is crucial. Woods Basement Systems understands. We've been solving foundation worries since 1986. Woods experts have the training and equipment to make permanent repairs. So stop worrying, because with Woods, it's fixed forever. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods, the all things basement-y experts. Call or go to woodsbasementsystems.com today.
Ready, Dad?
All charged up. This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright with a special offer on select Ford vehicles. Choose a vehicle in stock or simply place a custom order. Lock in your rate and you're protected, even if rates go up before your order comes in. So much. And that's how Ford is helping you. Proud of you, kids. Shine bright. This season, choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Escape or Edge SUV and get 0% financing for 66 months at your local Ford dealer. And shine bright.
Lane's Farm and Fleet's huge gift sale is going on now. We're your one-stop shop for the holidays with massive deals store-wide on great gifts for everyone on your list. For the DIYer, this Milwaukee Impact bit set is just $19.99. For the chef, special buy electric skillets only $29.99. Save on unique gifts like this Smith & Wesson Ultimate Throwing Pack, half price. And these women's Columbia jackets or vests, just $34.99.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
WCIA 3's 2022 Winter Weather Outlook continues now.
All right, it's the time we've all been waiting for. It's my winter weather forecast. Let's get into it. First off, you can get a winter forecast from a lot of different locations. Like the Old Farmer's Almanac. They're saying, hey, it's going to be cold and snowy. There's another almanac that you can look at. They're saying unseasonably cold and snowy for our area. So there's two for you winter lovers out there. The NOAA Winter Outlook comes out each year as well. They look at temperature and they're saying it could be near normal. They're saying though precipitation is going to be above normal. So those are just a handful of different forecast outlooks that you can check out for yourself. But I'm going to get into some of the things I look at. And one of those is whether we're in an El Nino or a La Nina. All of it has to do with what's happening at the equator there. The sea surface temperatures, when it is below normal or cooler than normal. So here's the United States. Here's the equator right here. That blue indicating cooler than normal sea surface temperatures. That means we are in a La Nina. In the forecast, you can see each one of these little blue bars is indicating the likelihood for either a La Nina or an El Nino to occur. And you can see this blue bar here is way up, saying that in December, January, February, we're looking at La Nina. So we kind of look at that. And then I can go back and look at all the years in the past where we've had moderate La Ninas, and that's what we've had. And what's been interesting is we've had 2 years in a row of moderate La Ninas, and guess what? We're going to do it for a third year. So I wanted to go back and look at when we've had 3 years in a row of a La Nina. We go back and try to find what we call an analog year. It's a year that we can kind of compare to what we're getting ready to go into. And I found one in 2000, 2001. That's the year I'm going to be kind of looking at some of the data and comparing back to. We can look at the past 5 La Nina winters, including the one in 2000, 2001 I was just talking about. We had 23 inches of snow. Last year in our La Nina winter, we had about 19 inches. Look how very close these amounts were for the last 5 La Nina winters. You can probably guess I'm going to be leaning towards that. But there are other things I look at, like snowpack in Siberia. In the fall actually has a correlation to what's happening down here. If there's a small snowpack up in Siberia and up into Canada here, sometimes that means that maybe not as much cold air spills down in here. This fall, we have definitely been below normal up here across Siberia. So that, again, can sometimes mean, hey, maybe not as cold. Another thing that's interesting, sunspot activity. What's going on in the sun? And we're on this increase. We've had a lot of sunspot activity over the past year or so, and it's increasing. That correlates to usually warmer conditions. When the sun's more active, you get warmer temperatures for the winter. So let's get into the forecast. I'm going with near normal temperatures coming up here, but I think we could have some precipitation events. Rainfall going to be above normal. When we look at that important snow forecast, just below. But that doesn't mean we're not going to get some winter events. We are, because the average snow is 23 inches. And if we look back at those past La Nina winters, we were in that kind of 19 to 22 inch range. And that is what I'm predicting for this upcoming winter season. How about a white Christmas this year? That's a pretty small chance. We're going to give you about a 25% chance, so a 1 in 4 chance of that occurring. So don't get your hopes up too much. So let's get you a little bit of a recap here. Key takeaways to the forecast. It's a typical Illinois winter. Very typical for us here. We're going to have some snow. We're going to have some warm periods in there as well. But I think the temperatures are going to be fairly normal when it all shakes out. But I want to mention this, winter tornadoes. We talked about it earlier in the show. That could be something. White Christmas chance is pretty low. And I'm going with between 19 and 22 inches of the white stuff in my forecast. Well, that wraps up the show. We thank you so much for joining us.
If you want to watch the show again, you can head to our website, WCIA.com/weather/special. You can also get all the stories there as well.
And check out the WCIA 3 weather app, where we can get all the latest information for your forecast.
And be sure to follow us all on social media to learn the latest about what's happening with the weather here in Central Illinois.
All right, that does it. Thanks again for joining us. We hope you all have a very safe and fun winter season.